Good evening, everyone. Sorry for the if you were there for that very awkward, long intro. But most of y'all probably haven't even gotten the notification yet. So yeah. Oh, if anything, this part will be on the mod, so. The liberated prisoners are being transported at Razat Han for treatment. Alicia and Yastola will oversee the administration of tempering treatments, with support of those who know a healing spell or two. I don't know what my dog's barking at. We'll go and join them in the city once you've had a moment to catch your breath. I guess I could have finished that Monday. Of course, now I could have done it. Whatever. So I actually kind of wanted to grind that out so I could just have like the full matching outfit. Because just going by the gloves, it looks pretty sick. So, oh well. Had enough rest, have you? You never were one for being idle. Right. Vernash bids us to come to Megadot at our earliest convenience. The others will join us there once they have finished tending to the prisoners. Oh, wait. On second thought, you and Stynian should go on ahead. I need to make a quick detour by the Great Worms. We left Graha in the alchemist's care, you see. Best to fetch him before he's crammed into a specimen jar. Just you and me, then. The guardsman at the gate should wave us through. Oh, you mean I can probably, like, fully explore this area now? That'd be exciting. There it goes. I truly despise that mount. It's better. Make sure there was none of those no agent current ones floating about. Hope I'm on point. Oh, there. There we go. Hopefully that's better. With the tower gone, I expect that the state of alert will be lifted. Sorry, cat. Ah, Honor Scions, you are free to enter at your leisure. As I cannot leave my post, I'm afraid you must make your own way. Should you require directions in the city, the sentry stationed at the fountain atop the steps should be glad to assist you. Am I actually going to get a chance to, like, explore that area? No, I'm not. Though I have been to Razathan before, this place is a veritable maze. Rather than risking getting lost, we had best ask for directions from the sentry at the fountain. Lead the way, and don't expect me to act as your tour guide like certain others. Let's roll a Stynian. first things first. This place is like hella pretty. Ah, Master Vamron, I presume. I understand you are here for an audience with the satrap. If you require directions to Magaduta, I should be glad to provide them. The satrap residence is situated in Dorum, the highest part of Razathan. To get there, I would ordinarily recommend a route that takes you by the bazaars in the city's north. Due to the state of alert, however, most businesses are currently closed, and the Aetherite disabled. As such, I will provide you with an alternate path. First, please ascend the steps next to the fountain, then continue left. There will be more steps, and upon ascending them, you will emerge on Parkish Path. Proceed through the large doors on the right, and you will arrive at Verda Fibers. Within, you will find another sentry who will give you further guidance. In other words, we head up. Sounds straightforward enough. Sorry, I'm just straight up sightseeing. I'm just looking. Heading to Magaduta, are you? In that case, please follow this hallway to my right and go through the doors at the top of the stairs. You'll emerge at the entrance to the airship landing, where another sentry should be on hand to assist you. Incidentally, if you ascend the steps to either side of me, you'll find the workshops of Ricketer's Fiber. Though you're free to observe the artisans, take care not to lose your way. Oh yeah, we're going this way. Because there's a little aether current right there. If you're here for an airship, I'm afraid all flights have been suspended until further notice. So the state of alert is still in effect. Perhaps it is for the best. That aside, we're not here for an airship. We have business at Magaduta. Oh, in that case, permit me to direct you. From here, it's quite simple, really. Ascend these steps and then continue straight ahead and cross the bridge. You cannot miss it. And get all these ether currents along the way. Excuse me. I remember passing by here with Martian. The situation being as it was, he regretted not being able to show us the sights. Life has yet to return to normal here, but when it does, you ought to pay another visit. Though the city is confusing, the food is quite good. I'm partial to hummus myself. The meat's surprisingly tender and flavorful. Squawk! Squawk! Jesus, this place. Like, I'm harping on it a lot, but God, the colors. So damn pretty. You know, if I was a good person, I would actually put Sprint on my hotbar again. But not too terribly worried about it at the moment, because I don't really need it. fists. Expanded House of Splendors. Greetings and welcome to Magaduda. May I inquire after your business? We are members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, come at invitation of His Excellency. Ah, of course, we've been expecting you. I will show you into the audience chamber. If you will please follow me. Voice cutscene? Estinian breeding. Dragons dragoning. Doors opening. Graha walking.
Are we the last to arrive? I hope we've not kept you waiting.
Not at all. Your comrade is feeling better, I trust.
Much better, thank you. Harness remedies are certainly potent in more ways than one.
One becomes accustomed to the taste, although I hope you never have cause to do so. Pray, take your ease.
Full glad I am to see you all unharmed.
Valiant scions, for your heroism, you have my boundless gratitude. You cast down that dire tower and set free its hapless captives. You cleanse their souls of its corrupting influence. No words of thanks will suffice. In place of platitudes, I offer a bounty of warding scales. Pray accept your due reward, along with the goodwill of Radzatan.
Alchemists throughout the land were put to work in the forging of your talismans. The finished ones have been collected, and now await you at the high crucible of Alchemia. Present this letter when you are ready to take them into your possession.
We are humbled by your generosity. Know that the inventive wisdom of Radzat Khan will be vital in restoring serenity to our star.
Every single one of those scales came from you, didn't they? You must still be in such pain.
I thought I saw that.
'Tis of no moment. A mere annoyance compared to the dreadful suffering inflicted upon this land and its people.
Albeit brief, my involvement in the Dragonsong War afforded me a glimpse of the myriad sorrows which consumed both dragon and man. Though you were half a world away, such tragedies as befell your kin must have affected you deeply. And yet, you chose to live among men.
In the age when that conflict first bloomed, my choice had already been made. In some distant place, man slew dragon, and dragon slaughtered man. Yet no hate could I muster for those smiling faces which did look to me for guidance. Not even my brother's righteous rage could rally me to his cause. I huddled here, secret and still, hoping against hope that which I had built would remain untouched by the chaos and carnage.
Hold on. Baby cat was stuck in the bathroom. Sorry, one of my girls was stuck in the bathroom. Had to save her.
Twould seem we share the same desire for peace, great Vritra. To that end, I wonder if we might trouble you with another question.
Is there another one in there? Hold on. Sorry again.
The Telophoroi are intent on recreating the final days, an apocalyptic event which we know to predate the sundering of the star. As the longest lived among us, know you aught of this terrible cataclysm?
Nay. When war and strife drove my sire from his home, he crossed the great expanse with only our unhatched eggs as company. He alighted upon a shattered source, its 13 reflections long since scattered beyond the rift. Of events preceding his arrival, he knoweth naught, save that which Hydralin hath deigned to disclose.
I see. So again, 'tis the inscrutable Hydaelyn to whom we must look for answers.
Seek you to divine the will of this star? If so, I have a tale which may afford you some small comfort. 'Tis a story from my youth, many, many years ago. To my sire, I once posed the question, of all the stars in the sky, why didst thou settle upon this one? To which Midgardsummer did reply, 'twas the last bastion of hope. He believed so long as Hydaelyn endured, so too might dragonkind. Solemn and portentous were his words. What deeper meaning they held, I could not, dared not pursue. 'Tis a stone I've left unturned ever since. Yet take you solace in the knowledge that whatsoever Hydaelyn does strive towards, 'tis an ideal which hath earned my sire's conviction.
Thank you, Vritra. You've given us warm reassurance in a world gripped by cold uncertainty.
While I'm sure we all have a great many questions, I think it's time we collect the talismans and be on our way. Our fight against the Telophoroi is far from finished.
We must take our leave, but please do inform us if we can provide any further assistance.
Prithee, a moment. There is one whom my sire hath judged worthy of honor and respect. The one known to men as Eorzea's champion. This hero of renown and rumor. 'Tis thee. I know of his clash with Omega, and the long slumber which was his price. Yet even closed in sleep, my father's eyes are far from blind. He is watching over thee, watching over this world. 'Twas a revelation most pleasing that thou, a child of man, had gained Midgardsormr's trust. But alongside mine elation runneth a rivulet of dread. For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, wheel enmeshed with woe. Amidst this tangled knot thou shalt know no rest. 'Tis an endless confluence of forces, a struggle without surcease. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence.
Fuck you, game. Thanks for that.
Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation. The hope thou wilt need come the end. Even cowering behind my curtain, I know the suffering of the powerful. I have watched my siblings driven mad by loss. Thus do I exhort thee to spare no effort to keep thy loved ones safe.
Apologies. We hadn't meant to interrupt.
It's just that we do have a history of suddenly collapsing, and when you didn't follow us out...
'Tis I who must apologize. I have detained your champion overlong with idle chatter. Go. At war's end, I pray I welcome thee back into my hall, where together with thy joyful comrades, you may toast your triumph.
Oh, well, that was sombering. Our apologies again. I hope we didn't force you to conclude your conversation prematurely. So, what were you and Vitra talking about? Nothing. Very well, if you say so. The others have gone ahead to the High Crucible. Let's catch up to them. Like his sister Tiamat, Vitra is possessed of a gentle soul. I'm glad they're on our side. The attendant was kind enough to give me directions to the High Crucible. First, let us return to the mulberry orchard. Cat, you make it difficult sometimes. You know that? I understand the mulberries are for the silkworms, grown a stone's throw away from the satrap's residence. It gives it the quintessential Trevarian flair, don't you think? From here, we're supposed to follow the path left and past the mulberries. Uncat, you're being a lot right now. You know that? Like, you're being much. You want to try being normals and just does a lay down? No? Okay. Where the streets turn, enter the door straight ahead and descend the steps. I thought the Crystarium was confusing, but it doesn't compare to Razat Han. The architecture and decoration make it even harder to get your bearings. Anyway, let's see where this door takes us. Hey. As soon as we make a left when we can. Or not. Left. Hey. I can't really see what you're telling the way. No idea. Bark, baby girl, bark. Can I tune to this aetherite? Maybe then I can finally go and actually frickin' walk around outside this city. Whew. It seems we're on the right track. And here's the Aetherite Plaza. So far so good, and there isn't much further to go. From here, we just need to cross to the other side of the hall, then pass through the larger of the two doorways. The High Crucible lies beyond. I expect the others have already collected the warding scales. Come, let us join them. Oh, it is still disabled. Okie dokie then. Then we're going over here. All right. This is very nice. Oh, my poor retainers. Sorry, I just saw the bell, and I'm like, I neglect them so much. It's a sad truth, but thou this land have been afforded a respite. In turmoil may many others languish still. Our work is far from finished. You took your time. Got turned around, I take it. Don't be sassy, Thancred. As I heard it, you defeated Nidhogg. His scales found their way into the hands of the firmament artisans. Steeped in power as they are, it's no surprise that they were coveted. Still, it is a strange legacy for the vengeful worm. I'm quite well now, I assure you. As they say, the stronger the taste and stranger the color, the more effective the remedy. With my body trying to replenish the aether spent, however, I'm feeling rather famished. I think a sampling of the local delicacies is in order. Hobs of cuisine would be a good place to start, perhaps. The students have previously turned to Razathan alchemists to help with the analysis of various artifacts. That is how I became acquainted with Nehana. I'm glad we could rescue her, and pray she makes a full recovery. Excellent. You're in time to hear the latest good news. What an immense labyrinth. Laboratory. How many such places were enlisted to help forge the warding skills, I wonder? We're last, of course, but at least we found the place.
These are the talismans we were promised.
Yes, and I made a quick count. There are far more than we could have hoped for. Enough to outfit an entire company of soldiers, in fact. Considering the involved process, that they were able to manufacture so many in such a short span of time is nothing short of a miracle.
Once we have distributed them to our allies in Eorzea and the Far East, we'll have a fighting chance to bring down the other spires, just as we did with the Tower of Zot.
Or we could use them to invade Garlemald proper, and strike directly at the Telophoroid's base of operations.
Alright, Stola.
Of course, we would need to consult with various Alliance leaders before such a drastic measure could even be contemplated. To which end, I could set out forthwith and present the idea to each of our allies in person.
Pray allow me to undertake some few of those journeys. I find myself restless and in need of purposeful duties.
I can head eastward. Bosnia and Dalmasca are just a short hop from here. And Doma's shinobi network should come in handy for passing on the word.
We shall share the burden then. Meanwhile, I think it best that you and the others take the talismans back to the Baldessian Annex. We must keep them safe and secure until we've decided upon a course of action.
Please, I must speak with you.
Hey, you're up and going. Very quickly, by the way.
Nidana, you're awake.
Yes. When I spoke with the carer at my bedside, she told me that one of the scions, a young woman, had cleansed me of the tower's corruption. It seems I'd been asleep ever since the treatment. But when I awoke and learned you were all still here, I knew I had to come.
As you said, Nidana was captured only recently. Such a brief exposure is swiftly cured, so I tended to her before we gathered at Megaduta.
And I am truly grateful that you did. I cannot thank you enough. All of you, for everything you've done. Destroying the tower, rescuing our people. You've saved Thavnair from an awful fate.
Even Estinian
Yet who
smile.
has truly saved who? Due in no small part to thine inspirational courage, the alchemists were successful in reproducing warding scales of proven efficacy. Replications of thy work now stand ready to travel across the seas, unto the hands of those who might wield them against this rising evil.
Talisman? Is this true? Oh, I was so groggy from sleep. I didn't even think to ask. Oh, our great work sent across the seas. It was worth it. Oh, it was all worth it.
Look at that. Its color is completely changed.
What do you have there? How unusual. I wonder if the effect is a reaction to Akasha.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that term.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feelings.
You imply that it is distinct from ether?
Foreign scholars often conflate the two, but we see them as separate concepts. Ether is an energy which permeates the land. It exists within animals, objects, even the air we breathe, affecting all through which it flows. Akasha, on the other hand, exists in a domain beyond our reach, a gift bestowed from on high or torn from the heavens in some traditions. Akasha can neither be created nor destroyed. It is beyond our power to purposefully alter or manipulate. The only thing observed to influence it is an abundance of, I want to say, spiritual emotion. As a veteran of the battlefield, surely you've experienced moments of desperation or exaltation when you've transcended the usual limits of your capabilities. That is a manifestation of Akasha, the invisible essence harnessed by heart, mind, and unyielding spirit.
I really must hear more about this theory. Our disciplines are based entirely upon the idea that ether is the fundamental form of all energy.
Well, that got Stola really excited.
I'm glad my haphazard explanation has piqued your interest. But even for us, Akasha is a somewhat abstract field of study. A lack of practical application lends itself poorly to formalized research.
Hey, baby girl.
Which is why my analysis of your flower can amount to little more than idle speculation. I am sorry.
Nonsense. You have nothing to be sorry for. Your insight is much appreciated.
Shall we depart for Sharlayan then? I will see to it that the talismans arrive at the Annex.
And we will be in touch once our talks are concluded. I suggest you rest while you can. From here onward, sleep is bound to be in short supply.
Bold of you, Thaker, to assume I sleep. The last thing I remember before being absorbed into the tower was you rushing toward me. I can only imagine the hardship you and yours must have had to overcome to rescue us. No amount of words will suffice to express my gratitude, but I hope the flower radiant glow says everything I cannot. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little upset that they increased the heal amount, that they broke the 999. I know that's literally the dumbest thing. You literally use gil for nothing in this game. Except for like crafting. But I don't know, just not seeing that, actually seeing like 1,000, it hurts a little bit every time. Back to the eggs. Time to try to find everybody. It's good to be back, and with the fruits of our labor successfully in storage. For now, we have but to wait for the others to return from their respective meetings with the Alliance leaders. As Thanker's suggested, you should get some rest in the meantime. Welcome back, Vamron. Kral has appraised me of your recent accomplishments, with an amazing feat to eliminate a tower and pave the way to deal with the rest. While it isn't much, I've changed your sheets and plumped your pillows. After all, there's nothing like collapsing in a nice clean bed after completing a major milestone, be it pending a thesis or defeating demiform entities. So, would you like to take a look at your new and improved lodging now? Yes, I would. Fucking Archon.
Take heart and protect them well.
Oh.
Good,
Hi.
You're here. You haven't eaten yet, have you? We've bought quite a spread if you're interested. Only the finest dining from the last stand.
Too damn wholesome. Well, that's a pretty damn good looking burger.
Lest you wonder, we invited Estinian as well. But he refused with a rather grim-faced, "No, thank you." I suspect Charlian cuisine is not to his liking.
Oh, I don't know about that. Perhaps our lone wolf just needed some time apart.
What? To perfect his brooding stare? Next time, I'll drag him out by the ear, sit him down in front of a Charlian feast, and see that he eats every last bite.
An excellent idea. Of all people, warriors must take proper meals and rest if they are to maintain a healthy constitution.
Poor Astinian, beset on all sides.
Speaking of one's physical condition, Mistress Cryle, I hear you recently played literal host to Heidelin herself.
And what an experience that was. Tiring, yes, but no lasting harm done. If anything, I should have liked to speak with her longer. I've not felt a hint of her presence since.
Heidelin instructed you to carry that flower, yes? 'Twill be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. And then something about seeking joy in darkness, was it? Come to think of it, isn't that what happened with Nidana back in Radzat Han?
The flower did seem to radiate a joyful glow, as if reflecting the elation we all felt, the relief of a people with renewed hope.
Indeed. And in turn, I felt buoyed by that radiance. 'Twas akin to spotting a beacon and knowing we were on the right path. I know we've not yet triumphed over the Tloforoi, or learned the full breadth of the Forum's plans. But even within the midst of our struggles, we find small moments of joy to sustain us. Rare and hard-won, perhaps, but it is this pursuit of happiness that gives us the strength to carry on day after day. Hey, that's mine.
To the swift the spoils. Though I recall that levitation spell of yours was quick enough.
Only barely. And even at my best, I'm still too slow to wield it effectively in battle. Mayhap I simply require more practice with this new magic.
You unearthed it from the depths of Numenon, I presume?
Aye, and from a veritable mountain of arcane tomes at that. 'Twas necessary to facilitate my solitary explorations.
Or, to put it simply, you used it to sneak around the Forbidden Archives.
Yes, well, after a fashion. They're tall, you see. The shelves, they're too tall for me. And I could hardly move the library's platforms without attracting attention now, could I?
Oh!
I'm not that ambitious. But 'tis pleasant to idle away the hours every once in a while.
Hey, Daddy.
Ah! Enjoying the bracing cold, I see. Do you not own a warm coat or a cloak? Something in fur? Or fashioned from the skins of your enemies? Or... well, never mind that. I come to you once more as the bearer of bad news. Our tower in Thavnir has been toppled, and I need not tell you by whom. Given how many we have at our disposal, the loss of a single spire is hardly fatal to our plans. It does, however, slow the rate at which we siphon the ether. If they continue to preoccupy themselves with the towers, then all will be well. But should our foe prove bold enough to strike at us here, then the timing becomes questionable.
Our foe is bold enough. Of that, I can assure you.
Yes, very well then. I suppose I must prepare a proper welcome. Honestly, talk of your nemesis is the only thing you seem to enjoy. Does nothing else spark your interest?
No. All else is equal. Equally tedious. Equally disappointing. The world is a tepid bog into which we sink, too weak to thrash as the mud clings to our eyes and fills our throats till we blissfully choke. But then came the light, blinding and pure and hot, so very hot, enough to set my soul aflame.
Xenos, honestly, it just sounds like we just need to fuck.
I basked in the afterglow.
Yeah.
Until the void yawned once more. And then I knew the muck would never claim me again. There was naught for me ahead, so I drew the curtain on all that had come before. Burn. Let the whole star burn. I will have my contest. I will reclaim my moment.
How wonderful that the emptiness of death has not dissuaded you from committing your life to its pursuit once more. I don't know whether to envy you or pity you.
You question my disinterest, but what of yours? Despite your noisome antics, I sense you take little pleasure in this endeavor.
Mercy, my lord. Such pointed barbs from one who barely acknowledges my existence. Nevertheless, you are mistaken. For I do find this part somewhat enjoyable. You see, when I was mortal, I would always have the same dream. It was a fragmented thing, disjointed, all the faces incomplete. The setting, too, was unknown to me, so I thought it simply a fantasy of my sleeping mind. Until one day, I realized it was showing me the truth, much as your dream of the final days enlightened you. And soon, Very soon, the rest of the world will see the truth of my dream, too. Yes, I think that is something we can both enjoy.
Oh. Oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope. I was about to make my way to the studio as it happens. I want to try and speak with Scholar Montague and thank him for coming to our rescue in the Rostra. As it turned out, he'd come here to see us following the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed for Fatnar. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud from his former students. Since we're still waiting for your Stola and the others, I thought now the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? Then it's settled. The twins will be coming too. Assuming Alphino can tear himself away from his new toys, I'll let you rally the troops while I go on ahead to Phenomon. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studio for a time. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. Unlike some of the Scions, I am not an alumni of the studio. As such, I have no acquaintances there I am obliged to visit. And while I would love nothing more than to pore over the many great tomes of Phanomonian, I fear my presence there would stir up more unwanted trouble. So, for now, I will be patient, much as it pains me to do so. If Father can master these fiendish contraptions, so can I. Heading out for a stroll. The scholar himself was here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studio. I dare say our notary precedes us. Alphanode, of all people worrying about his reputation, and at our Almeta no less, will wonders never cease. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. It feels like only yesterday that I first walked through these doors. See that sculpted picture over the entrance? That's the Marco Thalsic, the scholar, bearer of the waters of knowledge. It's no exaggeration to say that Charlene itself is one enormous shrine to him, and that especially noticeable here in the studio. Here it is, Famonian. While I expect you made note of it before, one can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditorium, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. As the center of what would later become the studio, It was established to promote the study of etherical phenomenon, hence the name. Though with ether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life, and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the 6th astral era, phenomenon was decreed complete and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question the world leading authority in etherology, the arcane, the occult, astronomy, and countless other fields, standing proud as Charlian's foremost educational institute. You always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited that same foppish speech, such is his undying love for his old stomping grounds. He was in top form back then, youngest to enter the studium, graduated with highest honors in magical arts and aetherology, undisputed champion of the debating chamber. Hold on, you both joined the studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Words lost on me. Nice of you to say, but Alphinaud actually entered half a year before me. Nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors, and I am certainly not the studium's most notorious master debater. In all respects, have I ever been in his shadow? If nothing else, just remember that this was the legend of Alphinaud Levior began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully, we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration the student body has for Alphinaud, and with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scholar Montague. Other facilities tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wherever his whim take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. That was Alphinaud Levier, wasn't it? The Alphinaud Levier? And with his sister and Master Valdesian's granddaughter? This can only mean one thing. An event of epoch-shattering proportion is fast approaching. Spread the word. Actually... Oh, sorry. You said you're looking for the scholar, yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere. But Miss Alfio should have a better idea. It's really good. Yeah. Sorry, cupcake batter. Or cake batter. That takes precedence over almost everything. That was delicious. Are you lost? Wandering off the street, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. Am I right? Aren't I? Oh, how silly of me. An orientation is in order. Allow me to bid you warm welcome to Searcher's Meet. Let me start with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the studio? She is really cute. That's right, books. And what's the second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal in here at Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students our tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Posse this, tongue of giant Gigatoad that. It's enough to make your hair stand on end, which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being a school of magic and all. As our newest gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. Like, I love the pun in there, but it's a little too mean. So what you're telling me is you're not a gleaner. Yes, that's exactly what you said, isn't it? And you're looking for a scholarage? I'm afraid we don't have any of those in stock, but I can... Oh, you mean him. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive curios. Not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. In the time it's taken me to tell you all this, the scholar has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. This is like the crouching area? I don't know. Who knows? Yes, the scholar was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though we spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When he parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps to one of the auditoriums? To the other side.
I remember you.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisois in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Montoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
If I may, There is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
Oh, that's a handy tool.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into 3 forms. 2 are of the incorporeal sort, the soul and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
Hey, you're being very needy. I want to say it's corporeal ether.
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The 7th Umbral Calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, It is a contravention of the Charlian prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace.
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve, rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable. Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet. I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Charlian, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
Okay, so I've unlocked crafty missions. Nice. While Scholar Montague is best known for his role as head of the studium, he is said to be one of the finest mages mages Charlian has ever produced. Having seen for myself the ease with which he weaves extraordinarily complex and powerful magics, I have no reason to doubt the claim. Some of my earliest memories are of Scholar Montague. Actually, he was a close friend of our grandfather's. He would come for tea and amaze us with his tricks, much like his demonstration with the paper and ink. He's a huge part of why I wanted to enter the studium in the first place.
And that's one that we had in the cabinet. I ground up the beans. Now it has less sugar in it than you get in your coffee.
I like it.
I don't know where it came from, but the whole bag is written in Spanish, so.
Oh, nice.
Assuming it's something that your dad gifted to us.
Probably. Well, that's given me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the form's true motives, and the mystery of life itself for a good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon for us in days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the annex. Perhaps on the way, you could better acquaint yourself with Quilla Lock, as the scholar suggested, while I share our findings with Raha. In a bit, Kral, I have my priorities. So when you'll tune in, right, for my great enunciation of words. Not gonna lie, I just spend a lot of time in here crafting. The music's really pretty. Coffee also really good. I think I might just go for like another 30 minutes because I am off tomorrow because it is my birthday. So I got off work and I plan on hitting MSQ hard. I might only play for another 30 minutes. I'm hoping I make it to Garlemald. That's my plan. So that way I can at least like do my hunts properly. What are you talking about, nerd? Hey, Vish, by the way. Having spent most of the time in Thradnar, I've yet to fully grasp the lie of the land here. Lie of the land here in Sharlayan. Even finding my way to the annex proved a challenge. Is that why you couldn't join us, Estinian? You got lost. Estinian returned not long after we departed for the studio. A shame that he missed the chance to attend our lecture with a scholar. Or perhaps not. You better not let your guard down around Quilla. One small favor becomes another, then another, and before you know it, you'll be running to the other side of the world in search of a bottle of wine or some other rubbish. Then again, it might make for a welcome change of pace from your usual heroics. And as the scholar said, it could also lead to interesting discoveries. It seems I've done an adequate job of relying Scholar Montague's lecture to Raha. Given his experience in the field of souls and memories, he had no trouble understanding it. Welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the studio proved most educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow scions. As expected, news of the warding scales was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to begin the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession to Limsa Lamitsa. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vamrom. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? Whew. I didn't realize these crates were so heavy. I should complain though. Victra and the alchemists of the Great Works put their heart and souls into each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the form's watchful gaze, I have little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as our official representative, were found to be consulting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here, and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn. I can feel it. To Limsa Lamensa. And lift with your back. Oh boy. Have naked cat boy, fun girl, dancing. Yep, I'm in Limsa. But it's a very empty Limsa, and it's very unsettling. I was told to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral is at present entertaining the Elder Seasier and the Sultana, three of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you to them? I am ready. I mean, we're all essentially on a first-name basis. My apologies for calling you away from Charlian at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. 'Twas only right that this decision be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plans entail? It hinges entirely on the warding scales and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Charlian, the Allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge of abduction of kobolds, Shahin, Ixiel, and Anati have given rise to an increasing number of primals as well. But your triumph in Razat Han has given us cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of these menace, and it is you, the scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telophori at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be the Ilsbridge contingent. To think such progress has been made in so short a span. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered, robbed of their free will. They serve the Telophori every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from the suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I ask only that in choosing to remember we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that, there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye, on that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Urianger observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there is no reason to believe that these smaller spires are merely a precursor of what yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we failed to make any headway, though the same could be said of the Teleferi. They're certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager the Spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied, while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be the substance by Yustola analysis of the tower's influences on ethereal currents. Based on her observation inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for the task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harnessed to our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to a larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down, along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good. But what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the Elsbred contingent. Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Yeah. Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. Couldn't have put it better myself. Istola, Thancred, and Urianger have already placed their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the warding skills to Alamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Ilsburg. Raubon and Lord Emmerich are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourself known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Teleferi so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go, safe in the knowledge Eorzea will be as you left it, or better, upon your return. Wow, there's a lot of people here. Oh, look. It's the three coolest characters all in one place. I must quiz Thancred and Urianger on the conditions we can expect in Garlemald. I know it's cold, but how cold? Well, I need to keep my ears covered. They can be a bit sensitive at times. I just want to protect Graha. He's so precious. You know, I'm quite looking forward to seeing who's been selected for the Illsbred contingent. I have a few people in mind. Care to make a friendly wager? I'll admit, this is all rather daunting, though not quite in the way I was expecting. We'll be standing shoulder to shoulder with our Alliance finest, the best of the best, the Warrior Light and, well, me. It's silly, I know. Perhaps this is my way of distracting myself from the part I should be worried about, marching into Garlemald. If Emmerich asks me, ask after me, say I'm getting on fine and leave it at that. Don't you dare breathe a word about the Horde. Ah, fancy meeting you here. I trust our mutual friend is settling into life as a scion. Collaboration never was his forte. The moment the fighting ended, off he goes, like a gale cat swept up in a strong breeze. But rest assured, he will always be there when you need him. Probably. Ah, the Wanderers return. You've been busy bringing down a tower and procuring the keys to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. These warning skills of yours are what made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Emmerich be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Illsbred contingent. The very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops behind enemy lines is to render aid unto the Garleans have made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all. Sadly not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side, charging into the fray. Alas, I battle of my own to fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. I hate to say it, but Lord Emmerich struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Illsbred, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Word of your exploits travels quickly, from what I gather. Right? I say just Rabon, Emmerich, and Gaius comes with me. I got my squad. Let's roll. Healer, fuck healer. I got Rabon. Oh, we need another Baz? Got Gaius. Let's go. The protective talismans you obtained led to the formation of this expeditionary force. My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one. That being the information I have shared with Maximus. For the sake of the people of Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. So, you're not coming with us. Strange. I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. The Talafari have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every mote of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varus and plunging Garlemald into chaos, where I too travel with the Illsbred contingent. It would give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Controversially, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I am branded a villain or hailed a hero, I would only hinder your efforts. For what it's worth, you have my gratitude. You and your comrades have the strength and courage to deliver my countrymen. I am certain. In light of Gaius' rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friends inside? You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two. And if I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you. All of you. Mystery box. The other members of Ilsberg's contingent are gathered in the royal palace. I shall inform them of your arrival, so please make your way inside as soon as you are ready. Regardless of how my countrymen receive you, the cold will not treat you kindly. Underestimate it at your peril. The remaining members of the Scions, your friends and most of the Ilsberg contingents await you within. Would you like me to see you through? Yes.
By the 12.
Jesus.
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilsebard contingent.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Lucia.
Shit, we got Lucia on our team, though.
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end. We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention. Might I ask you to speak first?
Oh, and we got Pippin.
If I must. I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation. Here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer. We shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort. Of course, with an experienced white mage such as yourself accompanying us as well, those requiring more involved treatment will be in safe hands. Raya O sends her regards, by the way.
It's like, got that white mage up to 80. Nice.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hillfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughing stock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship.
Oh, it did? That's awesome.
So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but the promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do. Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
I like this guy. This is your hype man right here.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the Avatar of Destruction. With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabard contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require. The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
Oh.
Lord Emanolaine!
Ah, yes. Emanolaine de Forton, at your service. Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that. But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
Yeah.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroi with my tales of daring do.
So, Vish, did they like say
I
something
believe
special
that
for
concludes
machinists?
instructions for the Grand Company of Eorzea. Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Yay! I'm so happy right now! True wife came in.
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as a step is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Oh, just step on me, mommy.
Sadu Hatun,
Shit,
no.
oh, what?
We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Maxima, who stands with us today, tried to reform Garlemald from within and make peace with Doma.
Look at you, Lise.
So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garlond Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us, so it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Yeah, let's go. Oh my god, I would spend so much time just literally talking to everybody, but I'm talking to my wife. Oh, man. Besides the delegates assembled here, the Amaji and several other tribes offered to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to their physiology, many would struggle simply to survive in the harsh climates of Ilsabard. They would also likely prove tempting targets for abduction by the Telophoroi. All things considered, they can better aid the cause by bolstering our defenses in Eorzea, though their eagerness to do more has been noted. We few shall have to suffice. Ere we embark, we must distribute the warding skills to our comrades. Care to do the honors? Warning skills of the Iskardian delegation, I take it. Many thanks. These talismans may prove to be the deciding factor in the battles to come. I find myself conflicted by this foray into Garlemald, sent by the Empire to infiltrate Isgard, only to throw in my lot with those whose secrets I was supposed to be stealing. and now I lead a mission to save the countrymen I betrayed. But that is doubtless why I have chosen by Lord Emmerich. He would have me put my extensive knowledge and former ties to good use. I will not disappoint him. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemald, and the world at large, I will lead us to victory. That is a set of warding skills I spy. Not that I would know what they look like. Wow, look at these. Even a layman like me can tell they're bursting with aether. All the better to fend off the tempering waves. Is that the right term? Anyways, these give us one less thing to worry about, which just leaves the other mountain of whatever else is waiting for us in Garlemald. Only one way to find out, eh? And nervous or not, I'd march through all 7 hells if it give me the chance to put Xenos back in the grave where he belongs. I hear you got something for us. Ah, them skills everyone been talking about. Pretty little things, aren't they? Reckon they'll be worth a kill or two when this is all over, but we'll hold on to them for now. And one more thing. I know what you're all thinking. Why didn't they send Ishtar instead? Buggered if I know. All the Admiral and Captain Heroes told me was they needed someone to help safeguard the future. And here I am. Can't say they haven't got a sense of humor. Of course, some of you might be wondering what good a pirate is on dry land, in the middle of the sodden snow of all places. Well, me and my crew will do whatever needs doing. So let's set sail, or however the sailing goes on their ships. Yes. So the issue, would you rather Xenos or Lise? So these are the famed warding skills. Enough for me and my men, I see. I myself am especially grateful for the opportunity to visit distant lands. I wish to follow in the footsteps of Master Artois and learn all there is to learn from the star we call home. Indeed, this is the primary reason I volunteered to join the expedition. To journey outside the Troll Forge, much less enter into Imperial territory, is a rare privilege afforded by Padua. Not that I'm tagging along to see the sights. The Garlands would benefit from my healing magics, as would our comrades, should fighting break out. We heard it would be cold in Garlemald, so we came prepared. Oh, the talismans. We are to keep these close at all times, yes? I will see that no one misplaces theirs. Oh, and before I forget, I have a message from He-Man. In distant lands and times of strife, together stand, together fight. In darkness shines the light of life. I hope I have done his words justice. Doma, much like Ortha, has been plagued by the towers. Yet while he could not be here, he wished to express his shared conviction. He and Yuri labor without rest to unite the people, and with their aid we will keep the enemy at bay. And we of the Steppe and the Eastern Alliance will repay their efforts by ending this war. Do you have a warding skill for me too? Thank you for this, and for going to such incredible lengths for the sake of my people. Though have little to offer in return, I would impart some advice, if I may. You have been told by me to wear the coat of Ilsbert, and I cannot stress enough that this is no token warning. I will be distributing specially made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemist Guild, but understand that they are no substitute for proper protection. I leave the provisions of said protection to your discretion. Now, let us proceed to the Alamigan Quarter. While you make your final preparation, I will have the pilots ready the airships. This is our last chance to make ready before we set forth. You needn't worry about Urianji and I. We still have what we wore in Garlemald before. Ascending claims to be quite warm and toasty beneath his armor, and since he spent a fair bit of time up north recently as well, I have no reason to doubt his words. Most of the others will be borrowing Grand Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise, I suppose, provided you're not overly concerned with style. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I wouldn't be seen dead in one of those ridiculous overcoats. If only I had time to find something to my liking. Hark, is that the cry of scions in need of a tailor, I hear? Ah, the truest craftsman among us. But how? I have my ways. Oh yes, indeed. You thought you could sneak off to Ilsbrave without telling me? Ha! Nothing escapes my notice. Just want to hug her. Now, you will wear these garments I've made for you whether you like it or not. You never cease to amaze. But why do you need a new outfit as well? Wait, are you coming with us? What? No, of course not, silly. It's all in the name of fashion. Rather, the pursuit of the highest quality fashion. Besides, how can I expect others to wear my creations if I've never worn them myself? I did have one other thing to share. Nope. They have finally returned from assignment in faraway lands. They'll be staying in the Rising Stone for a while to keep an eye on events throughout Eorzea. Since they'll be running things back at headquarters, I was wondering if I could lend a hand in Sharlayan? Oh, why not? You can keep Crow company in the Baldessian Annex. Yes, we'd love to have you there. And I heard Arwens and Blumwunda did a fine job carrying on in our stead while we were lying comatose. With them in charge of the Rising Stone, we've nothing to worry about. My thoughts exactly. Also, while I'm confident you won't go collapsing again, because a certain someone who shall remain nameless isn't in a position to transport your souls to another world, if anything similar disastrous were to happen, I'll be well positioned to do something about it. Anyways, I've got a few things to take care of, then I'll make my way to Sharlayan. I really do hope these new clothes are enough to keep you warm in Garlemald. It's not much, but it's the only thing I can do for you, other than pray for your safe return, which I will, every day. Let's not keep the contingent waiting any longer. Here are your winter woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. I'm told the airship pilot has been sent to meet you. Ah, there he is. Alright, this is where we go our separate ways. Do be careful, won't you? realize I had that. Sorry, I was actually just trying to find my overcoat that I just got. Oh, they already threw it in here. Nice and toasty now. It's an honor to finally meet you. We of the Garland Ironworks will be ferrying you and your contingent across the mountains and to Garland. For many of us, it will be something of a homecoming. Our illustrious founder was only the most notable imperial defector. For that reason, the company is committed to the success of this expedition. Our resources are at your disposal, and if there is aught we might do to be of further assistance, please do not hesitate to ask. If you are ready to depart, I will ready the engines. Come aboard the airship, several cutscenes will play in sequence, and it's recommended you said, yep. Additionally, you will be required to participate in battle. Your progress will be saved at certain points. Nope, I am ready. I am ready for this.
Ilsabad, divided in twain by a vast mountain range. Those who would traverse its jagged peaks face peril at every step. But why go by foot when one can simply fly?
Oh, it's a pretty lengthy thing.
On the outskirts of the Imperial capital, in the frozen wastes of the Magna Glacius.
I know, I'm fine with
the
that.
The winds howl in icy protest, as if to warn against further trespass.
Stola looking like a whole snack. Shit.
We've received word from Thancred's reconnaissance party. They've sighted a detachment of heavily armed Imperials.
Survivors of the Civil War, perhaps?
Perhaps, but there is more to it than that. Maxima reports that they're led by Vergilia, legatus of the 3rd Legion, which comprises the bulk of their number. However, they are also joined by several members of the 1st.
From what I recall, the 3rd Legion fought for Nerva in the War of Succession following Varus' death. The 1st, on the other hand, were under the direct command of the Emperor and rejected Nerva's claim to the throne. These legions were enemies.
Indeed. In fact, our sources claim that it was a conflict between them that sparked the Civil War. Yet now, these former foes cooperate to defend a ruined Garlemald from invasion.
Then it is all but certain they have been tempered.
So, what's the plan? If me and my crew is out reaving, we charge straight in, no messing about. But that ain't what we're here for.
Quite right. Soldiers or no, they are people of Garlemald, the very ones we have come to aid. Direct confrontation is unavoidable, Nevertheless, we must make every effort to limit casualties on both sides. Rather than kill them, I would remove them from the field.
How so? Savage beatings, disarmament, and imprisonment? Not impossible, but easier said than done in the heat of battle.
Having observed the opposition, I imagine Thancred had something to suggest?
He did. He and the other scouts have already infiltrated a supply depot some distance beyond the Imperial detachment's current position. Stored within is a stockpile of Magitech armaments, and once we give the signal, Thancred's team will destroy them all. In so doing, we will deprive frontline troops of materiel, and likely force the detachment to send men to investigate.
Divide and conquer. Not a bad idea.
Once the scouts have finished their preparations, we will split into two groups. The first will form the vanguard, while the other brings up the rear with our supplies. As for the Scions, I ask that you lend your assistance where you deem it needed most. I would prefer, however, that you accompany the rearguard and be prepared to join the van at a moment's notice. Kept in reserve as our trump card, so to speak.
Meanwhile, at the Imperial Supply Depot, really like Thancred's jacket. That looks good.
Your proposal was well received. More specifically, they asked that we destroy the Imperial's toys in as spectacular a fashion as possible.
Ishtola always did have a flair for the dramatic. She's not an easy woman to please, but I shall do my best to satisfy her thirst for fireworks. All right, once more for my peace of mind. Our first objective will be to rig the enemy's Magitech with explosives. After we've withdrawn to a safe distance, we'll detonate them remotely. Our second will be to issue a deactivation command to the automated units via the control terminal. If our calculations are correct, this signal should reach those deployed on the front line, giving our friends a much-needed upper hand. A blizzard will help us stay hidden, so let's aim to get in and out before it passes. Trust in the plan, and we should all live to see tomorrow.
In the meantime, I will relay messages back and forth as the situation unfolds. You'll forgive me if I ask again, but are you certain you wish to play the lone wolf?
Wouldn't have it any other way. Call it foolish and reckless if you like, but I'll get the job done. I always do.
Very well. I wish you the best of luck. Keep your wits about you.
It's time. We only have one shot at this, so let's make it count.
Never know what that does.
Seven hells.
I thought that would work alright.
Damn, spotted.
There's really nothing you can do about these guys. Okay.
This is Thancred. The explosives are in place.
Very good. All is proceeding as planned.
I love this, by the way.
Head to the control terminal. It should be to the northwest.
Absolutely love it.
Understood. Have the others wait at the rendezvous point.
next plan, I think, is going to take out that other guy that's right there, just to be on the safe side. That moves, he moves, spell, run up, shoot him in the head. Bitch, I imagine you, like, struggle with this.
Seven hells.
Oh, you were done. How are you 90 at this point? What the hell were you doing? Sure. I'll take that. Murder. Just mass murder.
You are returned, and none the worse for wear, to my considerable relief.
What news from our comrades?
They stand at the ready.
Excellent. Then let the fireworks begin.
That's nuts. You were already 90 at this point. It was an 82 quest. A few moments later, at the rear of the Aylesbury contingent supply caravan.
The blizzard's beginning to clear. The Vanguard should be engaging the Imperials any moment now. If they haven't already. Ishtola and the others are with them, so I'm sure they'll be all right, but...
So you want sub 50 on that one?
Wait! Something's coming!
Oi, oi! Looks like we ain't the only ones who sent out scouts. Keep them away from the carriages! We lose those, and we're as good as dead!
They said a whole hell no.
Protect the others!
I really like this. Started actually admiring my weapon.
brief respite, but stay alert. Keep the carriages safe.
What impeccable timing! Fear not, friends! The savior of Ishgard is here!
A fine display, but the other carriages are still in danger. Go on ahead. We'll hold the line.
We're the only ones still struggling. Can't we put our backs into it then? I've been itching for a bit scrap.
That was really awesome how the tanks are just literally keep holding that damn thing. That's awesome.
You lot alright back there?
We're fine, and ready for more.
Hear that? Get to the front and turn the tide.
Removed from the field was not a euphemism for enthusiastically murder.
It's nothing that won't heal in time. The trouble is, their tempering has made them utterly fearless. Subduing them would be easier if they had the capacity to submit in the first place.
Well, this is the path our young charges would have us walk, and that we all agreed to follow. You knew it would be hard, yet still you pledged your lance, did you not?
That I did.
That's Vigilia. Damn it. I need to help the others take her down.
Some really sweet gun lance, not gonna lie.
There's no end to them.
I was wondering when you'd turn up. There's no stopping us now. Come on, let's show them what we're made of.
Oh shit, Pivot does Dark Knight stuff? Hell yeah.
We have them now. Forward!
Right! Let them have it!
As a raging bull!
That's her. Vigilia.
Do not fall behind!
son!
Nice.
A worthy adversary. Rest, recover, reclaim yourself. Then we will fight again, to the death.
Sadu Hatun!
It's okay, little son.
That was the last of them. The day is ours, thanks to your timely arrival. What of the supply caravan? Outmaneuvered, but not outmatched. Good. Let us take the Imperials into custody and rejoin our comrades. And soon we shall arrive at the capital.
So cold and unforgiving. Thus spoke Emperor Solus as he gazed upon his barren domain. "800 years it had been since the Garleans first set foot here. Bested by the Kavosi, after centuries of war and driven from fertile southern pastures into the blasted northern wastes. In that garden of desolation, they clung to one another for warmth, freezing, hungry, desperate, hated. The chosen forsaken. In the year 1513 of the 6th Astral Era, a young legatus named Solus single-handedly sparked the Magitech Revolution. How did he conceive the machina that feed on ceruleum? Once a common, soft-spoken soldier, how had he so quickly ascended through the ranks? Like so many others, those who knew the truth are gone. Taking in the capital with his eyes for the first time, I recall thinking to myself, far colder on the earth than in the heavens. Yes, far colder indeed, bitterly so.
Not so much as a whisper.
The roads leading beyond the city walls would have been used less in recent years. Nevertheless, this was one of the most important gateways into the capital.
A buzz day and night with activity, aye. Merchants passing through the checkpoint, many of them stopping at the local hostelries.
Surely they cannot all have been tempered.
We can consider the question after we have made camp. If we spend any longer outside, we may well freeze to death where we stand. The tempered Imperials, too.
This will be our temporary base of operations. Secure shelter for ourselves and the injured, and dispatch scouts to survey the surrounding area.
If we're planning on staying here a while, we ought to give this place a proper name.
Well, the constant sound of ice cracking underfoot makes me think of broken glass. An apt name, perhaps. But enough of this. To work, everyone!
Alright, y'all. That is it for me. I need to spend some time with Curly before she heads off to bed. So, good night, y'all. Once again, not going. We'll be playing the MSQ tomorrow, probably most of the day. I feel like that's a good way to celebrate my birthday. So, good night, everyone. Hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. And until next time, take care.